The Fox 25 Primetime News at 9 starts right now.
And breaking news right now, state lawmakers are meeting at the Capitol on a possible plan to give teachers a raise.
And now we're learning what that plan could look like. Let's get right to Fox 25's Jordan Lucero. She's live at the Capitol. Jordan.
We are live in Senate chambers where the bells have just started ringing, signaling senators to come back in and take their seat. In the last 60 seconds, they've come in here and they're trying to get a quorum. We're told they will have two things to vote on tonight, a new revenue bill and something that the revenue bill will allow to them to give teacher pay raises. The Senate GOP announced just in the last 30 minutes that this vote would happen approximately 9 p.m. So we're seeing lawmakers make their way back into the Senate chamber. This would allow a 12.7% pay raise to teachers in Oklahoma. That may stop the planned walkouts for April that teachers are doing to try to motivate lawmakers to pass a teacher pay raise. This vote will happen tonight here in the Senate. We are awaiting that vote. We will keep you updated. This would then have to go to the House and to the governor. And we have seen plans before like this that have passed pretty easily in the Senate, but they do have a harder time getting a supermajority in the House. So it's something that we will have to keep our eye on. Back to you.
All right, Jordan, thank you. Oklahoma officials do plan to use nitrogen gas to execute death row inmates after years of controversy surrounding those lethal injections. Now, this is a live look at the Attorney General's office tonight. AG Mike Hunter made the announcement today with the director of the Department of Corrections. Oklahoma would be the first U.S. state to carry out capital punishment with this method. Fox 25's Caroline Vandergrift joins us now live right here in the studio to break down all the details. Caroline.
Well, Oklahoma hasn't executed anyone in 3 years after several mishaps, including using the wrong drugs in some lethal injections. Oklahoma and other states have been struggling to get the drugs required for lethal injections since many companies have mandated their products not be used in executions. Under current state law, an execution can be carried out by nitrogen hypoxia if lethal injection is unavailable. The Attorney General says this is the only way the state can move forward with executions and bring justice to victims' families.
We can no longer sit on the sidelines and wait to find drugs.
The Oklahoma Attorney General and Corrections Director plan to make gas inhalation the primary form of execution in Oklahoma, since they can't get the drugs required for lethal injection.
I am hoping to do so. Don't hold me to the end of the year, but as quickly as possible.
Nitrogen gas hasn't been tested as a method of capital punishment.
I don't believe gas has ever been used in Oklahoma.
But Attorney General Mike Hunter says it's been used with assisted suicides.
Using an IGI will be effective, simple to administer, easy to obtain, and requires no complex medical procedures.
It's been more than 3 years since Oklahoma has carried out an execution. Hunter says families of victims he talked to are relieved the state finally plans to move forward.
We are turning to this method to carry out the justice that is due them, justice for them and for the many years of pain and suffering they have endured.
Opponents to the death penalty don't believe the state should use humans as guinea pigs for a method that's never been used before.
You're strapping a defenseless person to a bed and killing them, and I think we're better than that.
But state officials plan to move forward as quickly as possible with new protocols. The Corrections Department hopes to have a preliminary protocol developed in the next 3 to 4 months. Then there will be a 150-day waiting period for federal review. Critics expect years of legal challenges before these executions take place, so it's not clear yet how quickly these executions could resume with the new method. Mike?
Caroline, thank you. There are currently 49 inmates on death row here in Oklahoma. 16 of those have exhausted all of their appeals. And now the ACLU is questioning the state's ability to carry out executions, saying, quote, in the time since a moratorium was placed on executions, the state has done absolutely nothing to inspire confidence that they are able to successfully exercise the ultimate power of any government.
A wildfire burning tonight in Osage County, threatening a Girl Scout camp. Here, I just pulled up the Facebook page of the Oklahoma Forestry Service. They posted about dispatching aircraft to the Circle K fire. close to that camp near Skiatook. A lot of smoke around Tulsa today because of that fire. This is a live look at Tulsa right now. That fire has been burning since yesterday. It's burned about 1,000 acres of grassland so far. The Osage County Emergency Manager says winds from the north were to blame for that smoke spreading so far. It started as a controlled burn but got out of hand. It is too deep in a wooded area to get to right now, but firefighters are keeping an eye on it. And here is a look at the forestry's burn ban map. While only 20 counties remain under burn bans, red flag warnings mean you shouldn't burn regardless of the county.
Good evening, everyone. We already have a fire weather watch in effect for far western Oklahoma tomorrow, and this will more than likely get upgraded to a red flag warning as usual. This is where the fire danger will be near critical. It'll be high for the rest of us. This is for tomorrow afternoon and early evening, by the way, so please be careful and do your part. The fire danger actually stays high and elevated Thursday, Friday, and then most of this weekend into next week. So our fire weather concerns are not going anywhere anytime soon. But right now, no worries for this evening or tonight. We have clear skies. This is the Air Comfort Solutions WeatherBug Network. It's cool right now. Gets a little bit chilly later on this evening. And tonight, 46 degrees. Winds stay feisty and frisky. Who gets the rain this week and when do the 80s show up? Your Storm Watch 7-day in just a few minutes.
We're following several breaking news stories right now. The first one here in Oklahoma City. There are reports of a shooting right now near Northwest 122nd and Penn. We have a crew that just arrived on the scene and is getting more information from police right now. We are also following some breaking news out of Birmingham, Alabama. That is where a hospital had to be on lockdown. This is University of Alabama Highlands. 2 employees were shot before the gunman shot and killed himself. Now, police have not released the condition of the 2 victims right now. Police say the situation has been contained. You're looking there at a photo that was taken and posted to social media. We're going to keep following both these stories for you very closely right here at the live desk.
Scott Beagle, Martin Dake Angino, Nicholas Dortrit.
And no violence, no more silence.
The names of 17 students killed in the Parkland school shooting read today as Metro students walked out of class in protest. Their message, a need for gun reform. About 300 students from Crooked Oak Middle School held posters and chanted. This peaceful protest only lasted 17 minutes, so those students were not penalized for missing class. Now, across the nation, students walked out in roughly 3,000 schools total and in other countries as well. Today, the former student charged in the Florida school murders was in court. Prosecutors want the death penalty. And Wendy, the ACLU wants the students to know their rights about these kinds of walkouts that they're having.
That's right. We actually talked with them today, Mike, and the ACLU says when it comes to freedom of speech, students have the same rights as everyone else. I pulled up their Twitter page where you can see they say students can't be punished for making their voice heard. They also posted a training video where students can learn more. The ACLU says those rights have been upheld by the Supreme Court. However, they point out there can be consequences for not attending class.
Regardless of the reason students are walking out, the schools do have a right to count it as an unexcused absence. What they do not have the right to do is punish them above and beyond the regular disciplinary action simply because their speech is political.
If students believe their rights have been violated, the ACLU wants to hear about it. The organization has an online form students can fill out. You can find a link to that on our website, okcfox.com.
We've got your back with new information about where you will be able to send your kids if teachers walk out of class in just a few weeks. Oklahoma City rec centers will extend their operating hours, and the zoo is going to be hosting all-day camps. And I pulled up the city's Twitter where they posted about this today. The city says that these places are accessible by Embark bus service, which will be free for high school juniors and seniors to ride. Middle schoolers through 10th grade can buy a pass for $10 a month. Now, the city says 9 rec centers will be helping out. They're going to be open from 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. on weekdays. This will be happening from April 2nd, the planned walkout date, until whenever the walkout ends. We've got all of this information for you on our website at okcfox.com. Now tomorrow, Oklahoma City teachers will be rallying at the state capitol. This starts at 9 a.m. Lawmakers need to reach a deal for a teacher pay raise by April 2nd or the walkout will shut down schools.
Fox 25 learned today the Attorney General says using a trust for teacher raises would be unlawful. A proposed bill would tap into a $2.4 billion trust from the commissioners of the land office. AG Mike Hunter said doing that would be against the state constitution.
A man accused of killing his daughter arraigned today in a Cleveland County courtroom. You're looking live at Norman tonight, where that alleged murder happened last July. Ronald McMullen is charged with killing his daughter, Kaylee Jo Hooker. Police say that he shot and killed her and had blood all over him when police responded. He's going to be back in court in July. That's when his trial date will be set. People in Austin having to be extra careful after 3 package bombs. This is thousands flock to the state's largest music festival that is underway right now. What police are saying people should be looking for in their mail.
An alternative to traditional education. What school choice proponents said today at the Capitol about who would benefit the most from more options.
And here's a live look at the Capitol right now, where the Senate is in session, voting on a possible revenue package for a teacher raise. Fox 25's Jordan Lucero is there. She's listening. She's monitoring what's going on. She's going to bring us the very latest as soon as we learn more.
Just into our newsroom within the last hour, Oklahoma City Public Schools releases their plan should teachers walk out on April 2nd. This is how they are planning to deal with the situation right now. They will provide grab-and-go box lunches throughout the district, using school buses to deliver them to some students. The plan to make up for days lost is as follows. The calendar includes 6 days over legally. Now, that's required instructional time. 2 have been used already for inclement weather, so if it does go more than 4 days, that will have to be added on to the end of the year. Tomorrow, there will be a question and answer session in the board conference room at 11:30 at Northeast Academy. The district goes on to emphasize that there is a lot they don't know yet. They are still working to find out solutions and leaning on the community for support as well. Of course, stay with Fox 25 as we continue to follow the Walkout Watch.
Right now, people in Austin are following the warnings from police to remain extra vigilant about any suspicious packages. This is a live look at that city tonight, where South by Southwest is still going on this evening. Austin police say they've gotten 265 calls about suspicious packages following Monday's 2 explosions. One Austin couple telling us they're being extra cautious because they're getting flooded with packages ahead of their wedding.
My mom gave me a call and said, you know, hon, I know you're getting a lot of packages with the wedding coming up, and you know, you're not necessarily expecting them. Just make sure you're looking at the package labels and make sure that it's a legitimate package. And that's made me a little more conscious to make sure I look at a label, make sure it looks at least semi-legit before I pick it up.
The UPS says other red flags to watch for include no return address, excessive tape, or if the package is uneven.
And today at the state capitol, more than 1,500 people gathered to talk about school choice. The group Choice Matters advocates for more options for Oklahoma parents when it comes to education. Now, the group says that can happen a number of ways, like open transfer, where kids could transfer from one public school to another. There's also public charter school options, which require parents to apply for their kids to get in. Choice Matters also says they support more scholarships for private schools. The spokesperson says public schools just can't meet all the needs of all the kids.
Sometimes that looks like a scholarship to go to a private school where they may specialize in kids with autism, or you know, a school that specializes in kids with homeless, you know, that are homeless, low-income kids, charter schools that are specializing in STEM.
Ruiz also says school choice could help minorities succeed in Oklahoma City.
Now to a breaking news update. Police are investigating after a shooting leads to a car crashing into a house. Police tell Fox 25 it happened around 2 this afternoon near Britton and Western. They say someone in a car fired at least 20 shots at another car, which then drove into a house. 3 people inside that crashed car all took off running, trying to get away from the shooter. Police say no one was hurt.
A big change in Oklahoma liquor laws is fast approaching. New licenses as well as mandatory training is going to be required to sell cold, strong beer. come October 1st. The Oklahoma Able Commission estimates they will receive 50,000 applications and is encouraging businesses to file by April 1st to receive their license in time.
A warning tonight about tickets for a Broadway smash hit headed to Oklahoma. OKC Broadway says there are fake Hamilton tickets being sold. I pulled up their website for you. The only tickets that are being sold right now are for season subscription packages. Single show tickets will not go on sale until spring of 2019. You can head to OKCFox.com for the latest information on shows and tickets.
Ford is recalling 1.4 million vehicles due to a manufacturing problem. The company says that a bolt could come loose on the steering wheel and in some cases allow it to just detach while driving. The affected models are Ford Fusions and Lincoln MKZs from 2014 to 2018. The automaker says 2 accidents due to that malfunction have been reported.
Walmart is planning to deliver supermarket items to 40% of the nation's homes by the end of the year. Right now, the delivery option's only available in 6 markets, but they are expanding to 100 markets by the end of the year. Delivery will cost $9.95 per order with a $30 minimum purchase. No word just yet on when Oklahoma City stores will participate.
Well, this summer, Oklahomans will get to decide if medical marijuana becomes legal in our state.
Fox 25 spoke exclusively to one group who's making sure regulations are in place even before Election Day.
The fact and fiction when it comes to dog food diets. Fox 25 Consumer Watch has got your back with this one.
And the kids may need a jacket in the morning with those 40s, not tomorrow afternoon. Highs in the 70s when rain is likely this week and this weekend. Your Storm Watch 7-day at 9:33.
From the Fox 25 studios in Oklahoma City, this is the Fox 25 Primetime News at 9.
We do have scientific data on the diets that we recommend. Unfortunately, in all these new foods that are coming out, the grain-free diets, you know, all my clients say, well, I'm feeding grain-free. What's wrong with grain?
Pet food safety. Many dog owners may be focusing on the wrong thing when it comes to what they should feed their dogs.
Fox 25's Maria Garcia has your back with what the experts say could be making your dog sick and how to make the right food choices for your furry family member. This is tonight's Consumer Watch.
Popular dog diet trends might just be all marketing. An Oklahoma City veterinarian breaks down the facts about dogs and food allergies.
Man's best friend, and you are charged with keeping yours fed and healthy. Premium dog food can feel like a budget buster for some people, but Midtown Vets owner Leonardo Baez says it'll be cheaper in the long run.
I would always recommend to try to go to the best you can do on the food. Your dog will eat less of it, will be more digestible, so you'll be less cleanup.
Baez says that grain-free diets may be popular now, but not needed if your dog doesn't have a sensitivity to it. And he says data shows most dogs are good with gluten.
Most allergens are the animal protein, you know, and we have beef, chicken. You know, now they're going to bison, and they're going to, today I was seeing a new diet is alligator.
There has been an uptick in allergy issues with dogs. Baez says that may be because owners tend to give animals too many different types of food and chemicals. Some of the lowest quality ingredients can be found in treats.
It's just like a baby, you know. You don't feed the baby nachos and pizza and all kinds of things. You know, you just try to keep with one single ingredient and maybe 2, maybe 3.
Instead, place some of your dog's food in a treat bowl and give them the kibble as treats, or look for companies that make treats out of the same ingredients as the food you already give your dog.
Having more control over the ingredients in your dog's systems means that you'll be able to more quickly tell if something is wrong. Gastrointestinal problems and itchy skin, especially around the ears, means that you should be taking your dog to the vet to get checked out. Maria Garcia, Fox 25 Consumer Watch.
If you want to switch out your dog's food, remember to do it gradually. Your dog could get sick because of the sudden change in diet.
How beneficial is your morning coffee? We've got your back with why you should have a cup each day and why you shouldn't. Tomorrow morning, 5 to 9.
And as we head to break, here's another live look at the Capitol. The Senate right now voting on a possible revenue package, including a teacher raise. We have new information about where the money would be coming from under this plan. That's straight ahead. Breaking news, state lawmakers in session right now voting on a possible plan to give teachers a raise.
Yeah, we're now learning more about where the money for that plan would come from. Let's go live to Fox 25's Jordan Lucero. She's live at the Capitol with more on what's happening there. Jordan.
Will there be change? See no change. I declare the bill passes as an emergency measure.
Guys, the gavel has
Mr. Leader.
come down. The vote has been completed.
Mr. President, members, we will be coming into special session immediately upon adjournment. The on-deck already reflects what we're taking up. But while still in a regular session, I will yield for announcements.
Will there be announcements? Will there be announcements? Seeing no announcements, Mr. Leader.
Mr. President, I move that when the clerk's desk is clear, the Senate stand adjourned in regular session until Thursday, March 15th at 9.
Right now, if it does pass here, it still has to go to the House. So we're awaiting that revenue vote coming up here in a few minutes. We'll keep you updated.
We apologize for that technical issue there. That is something we are going to continue to follow as we go throughout the newscast. But we are following some other breaking news, this time in northwestern Oklahoma. We've been reporting all week long about that grass fire danger. Well, case in point, take a look at this fire that's creating very, very smoky conditions. This is near Woodward, Oklahoma. Now, you'll notice this is not too far away from the Northwest Complex fire that burned for almost a month this time last year up in that area. We are hearing from folks on the ground that this is spreading rather quickly. You can see that dark smoke. It was creating some smoky conditions for drivers and anyone outside in the Woodward area. Of course, we'll continue to follow this story as well as several others right here for you at the live desk.
We've got 3 months to go until Oklahoma's primary election. That is when voters will decide on medical marijuana in Oklahoma. I pulled up Sooner poll. It says about 62% of voters strongly or somewhat support the measure. If those numbers hold, State Question 788 will pass. A new group speaks first to Fox 25 about an effort to pass regulations for the drug before that vote. Fox 25's Jordan Lucero talked with them.
A new trade association is starting a new effort to get ready for medical marijuana in the state. Fox 25 talked with Executive Director Bud Scott from New Health Solutions, Oklahoma.
There's some inadequacies and some unresolved issues in 788 that we feel need to be addressed through a legislative effort.
So far, Sooner poll says voters will support State Question 788 on the ballot June 26th. If that's the case, Scott says Oklahoma needs to be prepared. His group will push for preparedness. Right now, he says the debate has been focused on the moral issue, whether marijuana is good or bad, but the focus needs to be on implementation.
Our goal is to really have this done in a responsible, regulated manner. We want to spell everything out so everyone knows what we're dealing with, how to address this, how to go through an application process, and so every party knows what's involved.
He says New Health Solutions will work with lawmakers on provisions for things like employer rights, grow licenses, and transportation issues.
We believe that passing legislation in advance is the best and clearest way to lay out that path and make it available for all applications to be successful. One of the reasons we don't want to have to come back and change it after the fact is that the citizens of Oklahoma may feel like they're being usurped, that their will is being usurped.
New Health Solutions is pro-medical marijuana, but he says he is interested in hearing from those against the state question to hear their concerns and see if regulation can help ease them. You can give your input online. The group's website just went live tonight, and we have a link for you on OKCFox.com.
Tonight, high winds aren't just a fire problem.
Many Oklahomans have seen an uptick in their allergies. The Oklahoma Allergy and Asthma Clinic updates this chart every day. While weeds and mold do make the report, the real item causing your cough and sniffs is tree pollen. The clinic says cedar, elm, and mulberry are particularly high right now.
Hope you're having a great Wednesday, everyone. It's partly to mostly cloudy right now and quiet. Another another uneventful, dry winter day. Next weather maker is not too far away. It's west and northwest. This does come through Oklahoma tomorrow night and Friday. A little bit of rain, I mean a little bit, is possible when this thing swings through. And right on its heels is the next cold front right now. It's up here in Canada. When this flies through on Friday, no rain. So no big weather makers, no big rain makers this week as we head into the weekend, that's for sure. But overnight low temperatures in the middle to upper 40s. That's how we kick things off tomorrow morning. Super cool and breezy, so it may feel like the 30s early, but we quickly get into the 50s and 60s tomorrow morning, and then we're going to be sitting pretty at noon. Right about 70, very warm and windy. Clouds will be increasing and thickening up as we go into the afternoon. Partly sunny skies, 76 degrees, and the winds will be gusting over 35 miles an hour, maybe even over 40 at times. That will crank up the fire danger, of course. It will be the highest out in western Oklahoma near critical. Winds coming from the south at 20 to 30, and the fire danger will be high for the rest of us. As we go into tomorrow night and early parts of Friday, a stray shower is possible with that next cool front coming in. Better shot of showers over here in eastern Oklahoma, so most of us will not see a drop of rain with that first front. And then behind that system, it gets even drier. It stays windy, so that near critical fire danger category comes all the way into central Oklahoma. So again, got to stay fire weather aware tomorrow and Friday. And for St. Patrick's Day, this will be the best outdoor day this weekend, by the way. 60s to about 70, comfy, a bit breezy with increasing clouds. On Friday, we do get up to 80. We cool things off just a little bit this weekend with that Canadian front coming down. But 72 degrees, again, your best outdoor day this weekend coming up there on St. Patty's Day. On Sunday, only a small chance of showers here in central Oklahoma. Your better chance of any kind of stormy, maybe even strong thunderstorms over here at east and southeast Oklahoma. So it will be off and on rain throughout the day on Sunday, but a lot of dry time. Sunday's high, 74 degrees, so not much of a cool down, but it does get a little bit cooler, just a little, as we go into next week. Monday through Wednesday, highs in the 60s, sunny to partly cloudy.
We have some new details just into our newsroom regarding a shooting that happened on Northwest 122nd and Penn. You are looking live now at the scene. There is a very heavy police presence there at that intersection. We are just learning that when police arrived around 8 o'clock tonight, they found one person in a car who had been shot. It was later determined that that person was dead. This investigation is still ongoing. No suspects at this time, but they do have one witness that they are questioning. They are waiting on homicide detectives to arrive on the scene. Of course, we will stay on the scene and continue to bring you any new details once we learn more right here at the live desk.
Jennifer, thank you. President Trump is keeping a campaign promise to the Rust Belt states, announcing new tariffs on imported steel by 25% and aluminum of 10%.
But the move is getting pushback from members in his own party. National correspondent Michelle Macaluso takes a look at why the president's plan is so controversial.
We're going to build our steel industry back.
President Trump's new tariffs on imported steel and aluminum are prompting an upside-down reaction.
I'm concerned about it. I'm not sure that tariffs work as well as maybe he does.
While it may protect a handful of jobs in the steel sector, there are a great many more jobs in the United States in manufacturing that depend upon steel and aluminum.
Republicans are warning the plan could kill jobs and spark retaliation from other countries, setting off a trade war, while some Democrats like Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown are welcoming the tariffs.
I don't agree with President Trump often, but I agree that we should be aggressive about enforcing our trade laws because it means jobs.
White House trade advisor Peter Navarro is downplaying fears.
Are we on the brink of a trade war?
Not at all, not at all.
But after growing backlash from the GOP, the administration is changing course. Now Mexico, Canada, and Australia are exempt from the tariffs.
The refined proposal is something which is more acceptable to the Republican caucus because we all recognize China is gaming the system.
President Trump argues the tariffs will protect national security and reduce the U.S. global trade deficit, which grew to over $550 billion last year, the highest in 9 years. Clayton Allen, vice president of Hike Capital Markets, says trade deficits aren't necessarily a bad thing.
We're able to use our wealth to take advantage of or to
benefit from lower labor costs and lower costs of production in other parts of the global market. It's how the efficient market kind of functions.
Trump isn't the first president to try steel tariffs. In 2002, President George W. Bush raised tariffs on certain steel products. The end result, more jobs were lost than saved. On Capitol Hill, I'm Michelle Macaluso.
The new tariffs are set to go into effect at the end of next week.
And this weekend may not look too pretty. Lots of cloud cover, but it's going to feel pretty good. Starting off in the 40s, 72 on Saturday afternoon. Pleasant, dry, and not too breezy. The winds do pick up on Sunday. Also, the chance of showers and a couple of thunderstorms also increases. Still starting off in the 40s and winding up somewhere nice and comfortable in those low to mid 70s.
From the Fox 25 studios in Oklahoma City, this is the Fox 25 Primetime News at 9.
Please don't count on luck to get you home St. Patrick's Day. AAA is offering its Tipsy Tow service starting Saturday and running through Sunday at 4 a.m. You can call this number 1-800-AAA-HELP to get a free ride and a car tow home. There's also March Madness basketball games this weekend, so AAA does anticipate an increased demand.
Take a look at this post from the Edmond Police Department. It says, at the Edmond North student walkout today, a student walked up to every officer and handed them a slip of paper. That paper simply said, "Thank you for your service." Now, they had extra officers on hand at the school today because of a threat that was later found to be not credible. Always good to see kids doing good things and officers doing great things. We have such a good community here.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's take a look now at that forecast.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do your 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, highs in the 70s, maybe even a few 80s west and southwest. And I do think most of us will wind up somewhere in the 80s or real close to it on Friday. Winds picking up big time the next few days, which will also crank up the fire danger. Please be careful. A little bit cooler this weekend, but still great temperatures. Highs in the 70s, a stray shower is possible off and on Sunday, mostly dry. And then next week, sunny to partly cloudy, more 60s.
Well, the most recent winter blast has frozen Boston, and the heroine from the movie Frozen, the famed Princess Elsa, made a guest appearance in the snow-covered city on Tuesday. Look at that right there. Okay, it's actually a guy dressed up as Elsa.
Yeah, but he came to the rescue when a police wagon got stuck in a snowbank. People reports the man's name is Jason Triplett. He is a 37-year-old Boston attorney. You can tell by that video, he's very comfortable, dressing this way. He doesn't seem to be getting in the way of his efforts there.
Yeah.
Good job, Elsa. That's all I can say.
Way to go.
He's wearing heels, I wonder. Oklahoma's basketball season will either continue tomorrow in Pittsburgh or come to an end. How confident are the Sooners? We'll hear from them on tomorrow's big game against Rhode Island. While confidence has never been an issue for Baker Mayfield, but it did get his attention with a Hall of Famer in town to watch his pro day workout. More on that next in the Sports Wrap.
Hey, don't forget, we got your latest news, traffic, and weather every morning.
Start your day with Chris and Jasmine from 5 to 9 a.m. on Good Day OK.
Hello, everybody. Today was a big day for prospective NFL players at the University of Oklahoma. The annual Pro Day was held at the football facilities with NFL scouts on hand to put the players through drills and gauge their NFL potential. Heisman Trophy winner Baker Mayfield was the center of attention, with Denver Broncos GM John Elway among the big names in attendance to watch the workout. Mayfield did not do any running, but he did plenty of passing to show off his skills that he feels matches up with any other quarterback in the draft.
I feel like I put myself in a good spot here to, be considered the best quarterback in the draft. No matter the height question or people, question the character. I think these meetings have been great for me. So, put myself in a good spot, and it's kind of interesting to think about. Before the season, they had me at a 3rd to 4th round grade, and now it's improved a little bit.
You heard Mayfield bring up the character questions that he thinks he's answered. That does not mean he'll be changing anything about his fiery personality that has endeared him to his teammates.
Before all this, nobody really knew how I motivated myself, and now the question is, am I too aggressive, too much? But I'm going to keep doing what's gotten me here. Yeah, there's some fine-tuning, some polishing up to do, but at the same time, if I don't stay motivated, then what's the point? You got to improve. You got to keep getting better. I mean, I still haven't played it down in the NFL. I want to be the greatest to ever play the game, and so for me, it's starting back over, and I love that.
Mayfield wasn't the only player to shine. Receiver Jeff Badette ran a 4.27 40-yard dash, which is faster than anyone ran at the Combine. He also had a vertical leap of 39 inches. Orlando Brown did better after poor showing at the NFL Combine. After lifting 225 pounds 14 times, he added 4 to that total today to get to 18 reps, while he took some time off his 5.85 40-yard dash last week by running a 40 in 5.63 seconds today. But Brown also addressed a Twitter beef he had with Texas quarterback Sam Ehlinger, who was very critical and took a shot at Brown for his poor performance at the Combine.
Just tell him, I'm open to one-on-ones any day he wants it. We can meet at the Cotton Bowl if he'd like. No matter to me, I'll come down to Austin.
One-on-ones, what do you mean by that? Like,
one-on-ones. I mean, if you want to fight, we can fight. Football, whichever one he wants, man. So he can bring the whole crew.
The count of the wins, was that a reference who won the game last year?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Texas sucks every day, all day. So I don't go here now so I can say wild stuff like that.
We knew what he was capable of. We also know that his combine testing and stuff like that, none of it really matters when you give up 0 sacks in a season. So he did well today. He saved some face, I think, but put himself in a better spot.
what did you think about your Westlake counterpart, saying something on Twitter about him?
He's never beaten Lake Travis, and he also hasn't beaten OU, so we'll leave it at that.
Good stuff. A lot of these same scouts head to Stillwater tomorrow for OSU's Pro Day. Mason Rudolph, James Washington, and company working out there. Basketball, Oklahoma opens NCAA tournament play tomorrow morning against Rhode Island. Now, the Sooners have had a tough second half of the season. After Trae Young ignited the season, the going has gotten tougher. They've lost 11 of the last 15 games as teams have slowed up Young and the Sooners.
Well, defenses have made it tougher later, so that changes everything too, because they started giving him, being much more physical with him, being more aggressive, trying to get out of his hands earlier. He did such a good job. He set such a high bar. I think that changes everyone's expectations, and then when it doesn't quite work out as smoothly later, then you kind of get measured by what you did early, and that was a pretty tough standard.
This is a new season. I count the regular season as last season. We're not worried about it. Everybody's 0-0 now. Everybody in this field is capable of winning games. So we just got to come in with the mindset of we're going to compete hard on both ends for 40 minutes and hopefully get back to the way we were.
The Rams are a team led by their guards, which includes Jarrett Terrell at 17 points a game and E.C. Matthews, who slams home 13 tonight. As good as they know they know priority number one will be slowing up Young and his long-range shooting.
We can't tell him my strategy.
Top secret.
Yeah, we have watched a lot of tape on him, and like I said, once he crosses half court, he's liable to shoot the ball from anywhere. So we know that's something we have to take notice of. We have a plan to speed him up. Our defense, we take pride in that, as you know, and we have guards that's gonna, just loves to challenge.
Oklahoma and Rhode Island start the NCAA's 11:15 tomorrow morning. And after spending the last 2 weeks training in Arizona, the Energy are back in town to continue their training camp at Taft Stadium. Players had a little extra pep in their step. Reason? Season opener Saturday against their rival, the Tulsa Roughnecks. The action begins at 7 o'clock Saturday night. One more.